What? Malphite top. Now that is something that I wouldn't say it's unpopular, but it is certainly not something you see every day or expect to see every day.
Yeah, not as much as we used to.
Orianna mid, and what is there to say about that? You saw the power of Orianna last game, and she is absolutely phenomenal at the moment. I actually don't understand why she isn't a primary ban. And down bottom, Cop will be with elements. So Corki Blitzcrank, very devastating lane there. Corki also choosing to run that cleanse.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad choice, especially against the Amumu and the Fiddlesticks Fear, which I think is why he's really got it, because that is a support Fiddlesticks on the side of No Fear, No Prob.
Yep, and for No Fear, No Prob, it is really tempting to say Orb, because we do have...
I know, right? It's their entire lineup.
But it is team at No Fear, No Prob. We do see Ezreal down the bot running Cleanse as well, hopefully to negate that silence from Blitzcrank, the slow from Malphite, and the suppression from Skarner. And not to forget also any slows that Orianna brings to the table. Jace will be going up top for team No Fear, No Prob. So it's going to be Jace versus Malphite. How do you think that's going to run down?
I haven't seen much of that matchup. Oops, random things popping up on the stream. I haven't seen much of that matchup because by the time Jace got really popular, Malphite had already just been completely countered into oblivion. Because, you know, he was really strong for a while. He was just this permaban. You know, you can't stop him. He's got so much burst, so much armor and defense. You can even run him against Magic champions because his burst was good enough to beat on them. And, you know, then Jace comes into play a ways later. So, you know, by basically just looking at the champs, you would think Jace would have a problem, but Jace could just max Thundering Blows and do that health percentage magic damage, and that'll be very, very sad for Malphite.
Yeah, Jace being one of those very strong transform champions, meaning he can basically pick two roles to fill during the lane phase. Also in mid we will see Katarina, so Katarina versus Orianna mid. Kat, ever since her remake, she's been more powerful and more popular, but still hasn't really made it too much into the pro scene. So it'll be interesting to see how that rocks down. And because we don't have too much time left, I'll just continue on. Fiddlesticks will be supporting down the bottom. So Fiddlesticks and Ezreal versus Blitzcrank and Corki. And in the jungle, we'll see Lada Mortis on Amumu. So very CC heavy junglers there.
Yes, but we do have to mention, look at all of those teamwork and honorable opponent ribbons.
I was waiting for that to come up.
All the ribbons. Apparently it only shows one, even if you have more than one ribbon.
Really? That's interesting. And skin to win for anyone who is interested. Obviously quite a lot more skins this game than previously, but still no Ezreal skin and no Jace skin. Granted, Jace doesn't have a lot of skins, but Ezreal, he's got so many skins and so many good ones. You have no excuse to not be running an Ezreal skin.
No excuses. You have no excuse to be running Jace's skin. Full Metal Jace is awesome.
I don't think I've met a person who dislikes that skin, I'll be honest. It is quite sexy. But yeah, definitely not Blitzcrank, going rather incognito there.
Yeah, no, you're never going to see those Blitzcrank hooks, because Blitzcrank's not in the game. These are definitely not Blitzcrank hooks.
Oh, maybe it's Darius.
You should update the overlays.
I probably should. I do apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, well, to start out, lots of pings going down in the bottom half of River, so either Karis is looking to do a blue invade, or the other team is looking to do a red invade, and instantly Jay's running around with his hammer. God, Jace is such a fun champion.
Yes, he is, and we do see Orianna with that ball. She is so safe at guarding because of that vision and the large leash range, really, on it.
Yeah, sorry about that camera spasm.
It looks like everyone's just going to be good old-fashioned and defensive this game.
Yeah, but it looks like we see both AD carries are towards top lane. Are we seeing a double lane swap?
It's always good to see when that happens because you rock up to lane expecting to verse another top lane and it's like, oh, hey, this is the same as bot lane. Okay. The only difference being is that you have Baron there rather than Dragon, so you have to... Oh god, Saint Vicious spamming that laugh on Skarner. It just echoes through your headphones. Minions have spawned. We're going to see no invade. Amumu starting at Wolves and going to blue. Skarner is going to start race, and it looks like grabbing red early, I would guess.
Yeah, he could be going for an early red, possibly a gank in mid, or are they going for that invade?
Ooh, that is very smart. The ward will spot them, however, so no fear, no prob seeing this. But there we go, the blitz, definitely not Blitzcrank hooked over the wall.
Yep, gonna try
grabbing
and
that blue,
steal
but
this
they're gonna take a
away.
lot of damage doing this. Amumu tried to smite, didn't quite get it. So, smite gone, Amumu without blue. That's not good for the mummy.
Yes, but in the meantime, Ezreal and this Fiddlesticks are trying to steal away the blue buff. Fiddlesticks actually taking a fair bit of damage, and now St. Vicious is here. Can Salsy keep them there long enough? His Q should be back up. Fiddlesticks instantly flashes out. Lemonation doesn't want to be caught there. The cleanse out of Ezreal, so they've burned 2 summoner spells for this very aggressive counter invade. A 3rd summoner spell. That is the exhaust from Fiddlesticks. So St. Vicious is just content, and the Blitzcrank hook picks up Lemonation. They are going to exhaust him. They need a little bit more damage. No Ignite was there to finish the job. So a lot of summoner spells burned in, 2 minutes.
All 4 summoners burned from High and Lemonation. That is going to be a painful early lane phase for them. And you know what? Double blue buff for Skarner. So really already, no fear, no problem, are just off to a bad start really. And no fault of their own.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to counter the aggression from Skarner. That's one of the things you can do with a Blitzcrank. You can pull things from anywhere. So very, it's not all about pulling people. You can pull your buffs too.
Yep, and we also see for no fear, no problem, an immense lane swap. We do have the AD up top, which not entirely different. But then we see Jace mid and Katarina bot. So that's really just thrown the entire lane dynamic out for what people would normally expect.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Mandatory Cloud from Monomaniac. He's gone Jace mid just because against a lot of casters, that extra 80 damage. Although it looks like Skarner is coming in, Jace is going to pop his acceleration gate, get himself out of trouble. Misses the Q, but as I was saying, Jace, he just has the ability to get on top of any sort of mage, and if they're not a good mage at melee range, you can jump on them, beat on them. If they're a good range mage at melee range, you can just sit back and poke them. He's so versatile.
Yes, he is, but the question is, how vulnerable does that leave Katarina at bottom? Yes, she has Shunpo to get away from when Blitzcrank grabs her, but he also has a silence, which is just so devastating to mages, and that knock-up.
Yeah, there's way too many things to stop her from ulting.
Exactly. So will doing that little lane change end up being the dooming move for their AP carry? And down bottom we just see evidence of that just exactly. She is getting absolutely bullied by Blitzcranking Corky right there, and I think she's going to be forced to back.
She have? Yeah, no, she's backing. Wondering how many more health potions she had left, but she's already burned through all of her health potions.
But the early disadvantage for Ezreal and Fiddlesticks seeming not really to pan out too much, because 2 versus 1 top, they certainly have the advantage. They're pushing on Malphite, causing him to burn through potions. The only real disadvantage that's staying is the lack of levels onto Fiddlesticks, but Blitzcrank also went all the way up top from bottom, so he's even further behind. So Curse not really getting much out of that early 4 summoner spell burn, except for a very early tower, nearly. That's 1 hit from dead, I would say.
Yeah, no, they can push the tower down, they can get their AD carry up in top lane, let Malphite come down, and, lane against Katarina wouldn't be that bad of a situation, but I'm surprised Amumu isn't staying bot to help out Katarina as the hook almost lands onto Yazuki.
That was a little bit scary, but I think Amumu, he is still behind from not having any blue buffs, so he's going around trying to pick up whatever creeps he can as fast as he can and get to a point where he can gank sustainably.
Yeah, it looks like they're content to leave this tower up. They don't necessarily want it. They can continue to abuse and zone out Katarina the entire time. So, not worth, not worth giving up that easy lane advantage. And getting very low after a pull.
Grab the exhaust and knock up on Katarina. Down she goes, but Blitzcrank taking a walloping while doing that.
Yeah, I think if Katarina had been maybe a level higher, would have been okay. Actually, up in top lane, Skarner has now gone up there to deal with that, so not good for them.
But first turret of the game going to Curse, and as well as First Blood, so not the biggest advantage in the world, but it gives them freedom to now, go fix their lanes up, give Malphite a break. And Katarina is already behind and scared.
Yeah, Malphite, he's been doing a little bit better than Katarina, has picked up the extra health regen as Katarina picks up a Doran shield, so wants to be able to just sit there and sustain just a little bit longer. And I think, yeah, no, here comes the lane swap. Elements coming up into top lane looking for a pull. Isn't going to find one just yet, but now they can send Malphite down to bot lane.
Yep, and it looks like Oriana's clearing out race. Didn't get them over the wall, which is not your ideal situation. But there was no pressure in lane, so she's not going to miss out too much there. And really, I want to see more roam out of Curse, because they really do have that strong position with the really early tower. But Skarner's been kind of taking a bit of a back seat so far. And it's not something you want to see when you have that really strong advantage over Mumu. You want to keep driving it home. He's finally going to get blue buff now.
Elements getting cheeky under the tower.
Yep, meanwhile, a lot of Mortis finally starts blue buff, gives it over to Jace, so very generous mummy right there, but he's not going to be in a condition to gank till level 6.
I mean, that might be part of their lane swap plan. Katarina doesn't need a blue buff. I would have expected them to throw Katarina up top in that case, but so much damage out of that acceleration gate and Q.
Yep, well, that's the good thing about putting Jace mid, is he has such a strong poke, and that's Oriana. She can poke. She's fairly safe because of her ball. Jace basically overrides that because he can just do what she does, except he can melee too. And will he win strong enough to counteract for how hard Katarina had it early on?
Oh, possibly. I mean, they've sent
we do see the Blitzcrank hook up top, grabbing Fiddlesticks, and he's going to go down! Oh, very well played there. Cop getting feared by Fiddle in a desperate bid to live, but Cop burning that cleanse so he could secure the kill.
And Katarina once again has to lane against these two. And Elements is just looking for his next hook. Just sneaking around the side of the wall.
Yep, and the blue is going over onto Nijaki at the moment. So both mids wielding a blue. Jace with blue, it's questionable as to whether it's more effective than on Oriana. But, oh, we see yet another lane swap. Katarina's up top, and Fiddlesticks is coming to help her while Ezreal solos down bot, it seems.
Yep, but Skarner is now coming in. We're definitely going to see the play onto Katarina, the knock-up, plus the instant ultimate. The silence from Blitzcrank is going to keep her. The nice Shumpo flash is going to get her out of trouble. Oh my god, the damage reduction on Shumpo is amazing. And a hook onto Lemonation. He instantly flashes away. He's now taking a ton of damage. Has exhausted Skarner. And oh my god, they're both almost dead. In comes a Mumu to save the day. Can he land the epic 3v1 kill? Probably not.
No, everyone runs off when they see him. And really good play there by Lemonation and Yazuki. They should have died. They really should have, but they didn't. So they got out safely. But it just goes to show how out of control this is really becoming with so few kills. It's just about champions and plays at the moment, and it's really put No Fear No Problem up against the ropes, and there's nothing they can do at the moment. You can waste more time swapping lanes about, but it's going to set you even more behind.
The only current saving grace they have is Jace, who's killing Oriana in farm. He's up by 30.
Exactly, he's doing really well there, but the problem is he's getting no kills. He's not, or at least so far, not going to other lanes and securing objectives. He's just building up at the moment. And is Jace going to be able to carry that with how far behind his teammates are falling?
It's possible. It's not something you want to necessarily put on a Jace because he can take someone out instantly with thundering blows, just do a ton of damage. But he's not that tanky of a champion.
Yep, and we do see St. Vicious trying to gank bottom. Is he going to be able to get the grab off onto Ezreal? He's chasing him down. In comes Malphite ultimate, and that's going to be a very dead Ezreal after burning his flash.
Yep.
Very well done. I wasn't sure Saint would be able to do that without his ultimate, but he did. And that was well done there, and Ezreal falls yet more behind.
Oh, the hook onto Jace through the wall. Instant Orianna ultimate, plus the distance. The Ignite is down. He is going to fall. Oh my god.
Oh.
Elements just made just the perfect hook.
See that Blitzcrank camouflage? No one knows he's in the game.
They forget the hooks are there.
And not Jackie. Element's just showing why he's such a fantastic Blitzcrank. He's nailed probably 9 out of 10 for every one of his hooks, and they're really good hooks.
As he misses a hook.
As he misses a hook, I say that, yes. But every time he throws a hook, he's not like most Blitzcranks who just fling out hooks trying to land one. He makes sure that if he's going to throw one, he's in a position to abuse it.
It looks like we have
so
a
very well there, but we do see 3v2 up top. And you know something's scary when the support fiddle comes running straight at you.
He's gonna curse storm some minions, guys. He's gonna curse storm some minions. Everybody beware.
Element's backing out then, and that gives Cop time to either back or roam. Looks like he's going to choose to roam, but Jake's probably not weak enough for you to really go in on. Orianna, yeah, she does a lot of damage, but... Oh, no, Cop's just going to come and tax the lane, it seems. And very, I don't want to say stale, but very static game at the moment. Curse are just really locking out their lanes at the moment. They're not focusing too much on objectives or jungle. They are, however, going to go for the first dragon of the game now at 13 minutes.
Oh, the hook from Elements through the wall. Oh, instant Skarner ultimate. Katarina getting locked up, but in comes the Fiddlesticks over the wall. The Amumu ultimate now comes out onto Elements. They do pick up a kill for a kill. Now St. Vicious has been exhausted. In comes Saucy from the side. Ladder Mortis falling as well. Now they've turned on Nien. He is going to go down, and they're chasing after High. A little bit more damage onto him, and he will go down as well, but they don't even need it. No, they're going to chase it. They've got the Orianna shield. That, oh my god, that max range Q just with the Arcane Shift for the ace at 13 minutes, and now the game is 9-1 in the favor of Curse.
And Curse really just giving it to No Fear, No Problem at the moment. Solsay with the triple kill. Oh my god. The tank proving that he can carry, and I'm not sure they're healthy enough to go Dragon at the moment.
I don't
but
even think
certainly
they
could
need
have tried
it.
it. Choosing to be safe, go back and spend all that gold after getting a second turret, and especially after an ace 2. And it is really just not going for No Fear, No Problem at all this game. 6k difference almost at the moment, and it seems to just be getting wider. Here may be their chance to catch up, as it looks like they're going for Dragon.
Yeah, they might be able to make up a little bit of this gold loss. No one is there from Curse, but still, that was a triple kill onto Malphite. He just instantly backed and finished the Glacial Shroud. The Athenes is finished on Orianna. She's got finished boots, and, you know, Corky's almost finished a Triforce. You know, a lot just happened in that fight. So much gold was gained by Curse just in assists.
Yeah, and really, now they're set up for team fighting. They made that jump from their lane phase items to, look at them, almost all of them have one major item complete so far, to the point where Solsay and Elements, they're not afraid of diving onto Yuzuki under the tower. They're just that tanky, that far ahead, but the rest of No Fear, No Problem are coming up.
Yeah, I would definitely be scared. You know, there was a moment in that team fight where No Fear, No Problem, they were doing pretty well until Malphite came in with his ultimate. I thought that was going to turn in their favor. They had Fiddlesticks ultimate down, Jace was doing good damage, Amumu had ulted, Elements was finally out of the game so that they could, you know, that reduced a fair bit of CC. Orianna was low. They could have turned that, but oh my god, Salsay comes in with the ultimate and just wrecks that entire plan.
Yeah, he really is just the disruptor for that reason alone. And he got the triple kill, yes, so that puts your tank way, way ahead. But more than anything else was Orianna was there for every one of those assists. And Nijaki was still alive to just deal so much damage. And he's the star of that. He didn't get the killing blows, but he's the star of the damage there. St. Vicious has caught out Lotomodus in the jungle. Down goes the ultimate. Oh, Nijaki misses the ulti. There goes the ultimate from Lotomodus, pinning everyone down. Flashes go out. Nijaki is so close to dead. There we go. Jace scores a kill. St. Vicious desperately running. He has an Oracle's to lose. Is Nia going to get it before Cop kills him? It's going to be by the wire here. There goes the shot. He misses. And Jace goes down as Lemon Nation comes in, gets nothing, and he's going to die as well. The exhaust put down on Corki, but not making a difference. Yuzuki, you're in trouble, buddy. Is he going to be able to... Yes, he ward Shunpo's over the wall. Well done there.
Oh, that Jace, yeah, and he just got God-handed. Blitzcrank's hand just came out of nowhere. I was like, fist.
It's just the big denied banner.
Oh my god, he's not done. He's going to catch Yuzuki. He's going to catch Yuzuki and knock him up, and he's got a red buff. That is a Blitzcrank with a red buff. Down goes Yuzuki.
Well played there. And Elements just has this sick spidey sense about where everyone is. Fantastically played there.
Oh my god, the God Hand. The God Hand.
Poor No Fear, No Prob. It's just... Nothing is working out like they wanted to. They had, like you said, Near Dragon, they had a perfect engage, and then Malphite comes and ruins everything. They were about to deny the Oracles off of St. Vicious, and then the rest of the team had to show up, and he had to miss the shot from Jace. It's just... It's not their day, and you can just feel it.
Yeah, no, I mean, getting caught out in their own jungle, that's what started that whole excursion. Lattimore got caught out in his own jungle. Yes, they did kill Orianna. They shut down Orianna, took a little bit of gold away from Nijaki, but then it just resulted in 3 more deaths for their team. You know, they can get 1, but they're going to lose 4.
Yep, and Jace choosing a very, very offensive build there. Brutalizer, Bloodthirster, I just spotted that, and that is scary. But that probably explains also why he's not as durable as most Jaces normally are.
Yeah, he hasn't picked up a Phage, which, you know, gives you a fair bit of durability. He's got Lucidity boots, so this is the high speed, it's the high speed, high blast, I'm going to shoot you and poke you down, Jace. Because he just throws out acceleration gate shock blasts like every 3 seconds. And that would work if Blitzcrank wasn't landing every single hook, as Lemonation I think is about to get found.
Possibly, but those rates giving him enough cover that he cannot...
Oh my god, they hook on Ezreal.
But High got grabbed. Elements just grabbed him, punched him, and ran. He realized that he was in trouble, but he knows he has enough damage to just make it annoying.
Yeah, he's doing... his best to just irritate everyone. Oh, Amumu missed his smite. He just smited to try and steal away the big wolf, and he smited a little wolf. And now Elements getting caught by the entirety of the enemy team. Jace is there. Can they finally shut down this Blitzcrank? The Mana Shield is out. In comes Salsa from the side. Orianna ultimate coming in, takes down 2 members. In comes the Fiddlesticks, but it is not going to help. Along with Amumu, they do finally finish Blitzcrank. But what is the cost? The cost is 4 deaths. Ladder Mortis about to fall to Nijaki and Salsa. So Elements, yeah, Blitzcrank is laughing from the grave right now. Oh my god, and Yuzuki, don't walk in there.
And Salsa, the triple kill thriller right there again. And I don't understand how he's doing this with Malphite and no offensive items. Yeah, his Grand Slam scales off armor, but doesn't scale that high. He comes in and heroes the fight. If I were Nijaki, I'd be just a little bit upset right now.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite doesn't always join fights, but when he does, apparently he gets triple kills.
Well, he's 6-0 and 3, so those 6 kills are 2 triple kills.
Oh my god. Just unfortunate team fights for No Fear, No Prob. Every time things look good, everyone just... And it wasn't even everyone. That was a 3-man. They did that with 3 people. Skarner and Corki were on the other side of the map pushing bot tower and taking a tower.
And they had Elements dead to rights. There was no way he was getting out of that. And they eventually got him, but just... It cost them too much. It really did.
Yeah, every time they've gone in for a kill, they've lost 4 or 5 people.
And even as casters, we're sitting here and it looks so in their favour, but it just doesn't turn out that way. And we are going to gear up for Dragon number 2, and I think No Fear No Problem know how this ends, so they probably just going to stick back and try and poke.
Yeah, maybe they can get a steal. Maybe they can pick up a tower off this. Looks like they're trying to push down mid. Get what little they can off the engagement.
Nearly hitting with that grab.
Oh, but things are about to get bad for them because Salsa has ultimate. They did take the tower, and you instantly see No Fear No Problem just spreading out, just running in the opposite direction. Because Elements is on the prowl. They are going to knock up Nien. In comes the flash from Nien. He misses the hook. Out comes Fiddlestick's ultimate. And this is finally a fight looking in their favor, except for Levination is getting burned. Yazuki is in the backline fighting Elements. Salsa has now jumped onto Nien. The ultimate from Oriana is going to stop Yazuki. And Nien, still fighting Salsa, is now going to fall because Cop has joined the fight. Nice Phosphorus Bomb is going to bring down Levination. Another rocket hits high, but they don't even care because they just killed 3 members and are going to go for a Baron.
Yep, that is going to be a completely unopposed Baron. I don't even think Ezreal has the damage to chance poking at this. Lotomodus might man up and go over the wall with Bandage Toss Smite.
He's thinking about it. Oh, but he gets hooked. Elements just...
I honestly didn't think Blitzcrank Hook had the range to hit there, but it did. Very well done. Elements is just... he is the problem child of this team.
He was standing in a ward. He was standing in a ward. Look at the ward coverage from Curse. There isn't anything they don't see.
And that's what you need when you have a Blitzcrank. But I'm certain if they didn't have it, Elements would just rub his temples and Spidey sense where they are. Absolutely fantastic play there. Baron picked up for Curse, and 12k difference, 20-3. I'm surprised that they haven't won this yet. They really need to start pushing those game-winning objectives. They've got one in the turret. Now, you've got Baron, you're way ahead, secure an in-hit. If not, finish the game.
I mean, look at these items. Malphite. He's finished. He's picked up a DFG, no problem. Just kills and assists. Just 6 kills, 6 assists, 0 deaths, and a DFG on a Malphite. Then?
Yes, sorry about that. I was just updating the timers.
I thought you just left me, and I was like, is he just gonna leave me? Leave me out to dry here?
Not Zanharak, I can tell you that.
Oh, but hi.
Saint going in the jungle. Oh, Elements, you pulled him out of the ultimate! And down goes Amumu. What more is there to say there? Just everybody's melting. And look at this, it's going to be a poke war. They can't risk getting into another fight. Oh my god, that dissonance from Oriana. So much damage.
I think they've just accepted that this turret is gone and they've backed up because they know if they walk out too far, Elements is just going to Spidey sense a hook on them.
Yep. And I can't believe that too. Nyjaki threw down the ultimate and Elements had to pull him out at the very last second.
I don't know, maybe he thought he was like, hey, I want this kill.
Maybe he was trying to secure the triple kill for Salsa again.
Setting up those triple kills.
Down goes the center turret, and Curse are going to take the first inhib of the game here, and really, the game is theirs now. They're going to loop towards bottom, and I don't think No Fear No Problem have any chance of holding this off. It is Curse's game to throw. That dissonance over the wall, half killing Fiddles with that Oracles, which is a lot of use in their own base at the moment.
Yeah, no, finding them all the wards.
And Curse just waiting for what is left of that minion wave to come up. But they're still going to get about a quarter of that turret's HP of just 3 caster minions.
Lotomodus, they're looking for that perfect engage where they just catch Nyjaki and Koth at the same time and then try and duel down Salsa and Saint Vicious.
Yep, and you do see Elements there with the ward over the wall, and he's just walking back and forth. He's antsy for that grab. You can just feel it. And Jace's poke has really become little more than a nuisance to everybody but the squishiest of Curse at the moment.
Oh, Ladder Mortis does get hooked. He instantly ults, and now comes in a fair bit of damage. Oh, but the Salsei ultimate, that Malphite ultimate knocks up everyone, even though there was that chance. You saw so many people going down high, now falling to the Orion ultimate. That is going to be the ace. But there was that moment. We saw that moment again, where they had the chance.
There's the surrender vote. Well played by Curse. That was the switch flipped. They just hit it right on there. Well played by Curse. Unfortunately, too bad for No Fear, No Prob. They are out of this, but Curse move on to, I believe it is round 3.
Yep, and, No Fear, No Prob, they're not completely out of it. They have a chance next week